Hello, everybody. We're here today to look at the rest of the games for the week 1 of our season 2 of Turn 17 Rocks. With me today is my roommate, the coach of the Dark Flower Magicians, Ephemeral Style.
Hi, that's me.
You'll have to forgive him. He's got cooties from getting back from Britain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get my Johns out of the way now. I'm sick. I got off a flight about an hour and a half before this game. I'm playing the January Sixers on January 6th. I didn't put my Legence shirt on before the game, my good luck shirt. There's probably some other excuses I can come up with, but I just wanted to clear those out now.
Okay. That bodes very well for what we're about to see. Let's just go ahead and get started. Well, since you're here and the game's fresh in your mind, I imagine, take us through what you're thinking for your lead matchup.
Yeah, so I brought skill swap Rabambi to skill swap Toxic Heal or Poison Heal away from Gliscor so he kills himself with Toxic. I know he's going to lead Gliscor because he does that all the time, and so I thought it would be funny. I didn't really put a lot of thought into this game, as I definitely should have against the number 1 seed, but we'll see how it plays out. So I'm leading Rabambi, expecting Gliscor lead.
Alright, sounds good. And we see skill swap immediately, and dual wing beat immediately. Okay, well, it's over.
Yep, so that's unfortunate. That's a 1 sack down, and I did not get webs up.
It's kind of insane. So here comes a U-turn. Good, I like the momentum. That's a lot of damage too. Are you choice banned?
I am choice banned. That was a roll to kill against uninvested, and I did not get.
Unfortunate. I think I see your nickname theme. And into Primarina, get the spikes up.
Yeah, so this is the worst turn of the game. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't really think, to be honest. I just kind of clicked without thinking. So I'm blaming that on being sick and the jet lag. But I think this turn right here loses me the game. Not that I make great plays after this, but if I didn't make this one, there's still tons of ways that I could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm very concerned now. You don't have a Grassy Glide switch in. I mean, I guess you have Heatran, but you know, with high horsepower, that could be really tough. This is the most unfitting music for this.
Heatran and Tentacruel were right there. It was. I had my pick of switches, and I was like, well, let me just go one of the guys who instantly fucking dies to this because I'm stupid. So.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Tentacruel was not in the cards here.
You and me both.
So we have Mitch McConnell to come into what looks like maybe Assault Vest Primarina? I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely super def invested based on that Thunderbolt damage, so makes it really bad that I sacked my Meowscarada before I could get a a Flower Trick and force this out.
Alright, and now we see the switch that probably should have been made immediately, but it is what it is.
I have to agree.
That Latios is prettier than Mitch McConnell reading this. Insane. Big knockoff. Big defog.
I was expecting a switch back to Primarina, which does come out after a slow U-turn.
Understandable.
Oh, never mind. He goes right to Gliscor.
To get the spikes up. Good job. I see he's got Bands as his team's name.
Yeah, not getting the roll to kill earlier would have been nice. Not have this sack and half my earthquake damage.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Wow, that was a lot of damage there from recoil.
Yeah, this is a very physically bulky chomp built to take on Corviknight, so every time he clicks Brave Bird to U-turn, he's basically killing himself. He's also defogging his own spikes and terrain away, so I don't have to worry about those.
Yep, that works. And then here comes the worst. Red H Chili P is so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
so here I forgot to turn grassy terrain off on my calc, and I was like, oh, he's only doing 60%. Um, yeah, there's no excuse for that one. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say I was reading dual wing beat, but I'm just stupid. So at this point, I've sacked 3 mons. So yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah, it seems like Gliscor is really tough for your team. Like, you do have Latios as an Earthquake immunity. You do have, I guess, Rabambi and Meowscarada as resist, but, like, they're not great resists. And with 2 ground weeks, and a lot of Pokemon that can get hit by Toxic, it can be really tough to play around this guy. And the dual wing beat for, I assume he was matchup fishing your Rabambi lead. If this goes to show that preparation is key. Anyway, let's finish out this battle, see what happens. I can't imagine that you have much of a win con here. This music is so somber to watch the rest of this game. I'm so sorry. Oh, Sneasler. What do you think about Sneasler?
It's good, but it's not that scary without the unburden boost.
I think it's still scary. I'm surprised that he's not running mirror armor to stop that, but
Yeah, so here's the last choke of the game. I scout Scarf by switching to Tentacruel, and immediately get blown up by Dark Pulse. And he is specs by that damage, which means I could have switched Draco to kill and then switched out later to get my special attack back, and also handle Primarina with Tentacruel. But obviously, if he was, Scarf, I would have lost the game right then and there. So I shouldn't have bothered scouting. I should have just played that he's not Scarf, because if he was Scarfed, I would have lost the game. You can see the conversation there.
yeah, let's see. I didn't cook you that bad. I mean, yeah, there were
There's still time. There's still time.
there definitely. I think the Tentacruel was extremely underutilized in this game, especially with Primarina. I understand that Primarina is probably not one of the scariest Pokemon on his team, but like fairy coverage against your team, where 3 of your top guys are 2 dragon types and a dark type, and then your main switch into fairy types is Heatran, who's weak to water. It actually matches up extremely well against your team. It's got enough bulk to live a lot of things, like maybe not Meowscarada, Choice Band, Flower Trick, but still really strong. Like, I don't think that this was. It doesn't stick out to me as like a horrendously played game. I think there were like maybe 2 plays there that were questionable on your part and definitely contributed to you losing this game. I think that Jeff didn't make any plays that stood out to me as particularly bad. Like, he definitely kept all the tools that he needed to win the game, especially like this Primarina, his Chi-Yu. I maybe wish that his Rillaboom didn't take that hit early on, but never punished, so it doesn't matter.
Sacking Meow is definitely the biggest turn, I think, that led to the downfall. Without Meow, it's really hard for me to make progress against Primarina at all, without getting a poison jab off on Garchomp. And I probably should have calced to see like how much Spadef investment it was probably running when I landed the Thunderbolt and the flip turn off Latios. but I didn't because I was tilted and stupid. Um, so there was some game there that I didn't play for, but man, I just need to take a little bit more time and play safer because they weren't even like risky plays; they were just stupid plays, and there's a difference.
Right. I think it's actually really funny, this game compared to the last season's game that you guys played in the regular season, where it seemed like to me that Jeff would have had a much more playable game if he didn't sack his Meowscarada to your Dragapult, and it kind of comes full circle here.
I'm just tipping my hat one legend to another.
Well, that's okay because you've got a pretty easy matchup next week to get yourself back into the mix-up.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be under the weather then as I prepare to place as I go from number 1 to number 2 in my power rankings, but we'll see. I'm waiting for playoffs, Jeff. You better let me get that salty run back
Well
in
said.
3 months.
All right, let's go to the next battle here. This is, I believe, the team that I had number 2, the team that you had number 5, against the team that we both had like number 4. The Grafted Grafaiais and the Big White Cookie. Now, I was taking a lot of time to look at this matchup because I'm really bored and I have no life outside of this draft league. So I thought that there's a lot of really interesting interplay between these teams. For example, I think that Ogerpon, Cornerstone, is an extremely good matchup into this team because with rock, grass, and fighting coverage, Alex's team really struggles to switch in to Ogerpon, and even with that Pecha run, you always have to be worried about like a Swords Dance knockoff type set. So that could be really tough. Both of them have extremely dangerous water type Pokemon. I will say that Alex's team seems to be better equipped to switch into water types. At least like Kyurem's got enough bulk and resist to water type moves well enough to not lose to Jet Punch. Whereas Cookie's team, your only water resist is Palafin, which is not fantastic, especially considering that Manaphy gets Energy Ball. But the heavy hitters on Cookie's team, I think if he plays a very offensive, momentum-heavy game, he can overwhelm Alex's team, who's quite a bit slower and will struggle to switch into some of these guys, particularly Ogerpon and Iron Valiant.
Yeah, definitely some of his big threats need a couple turns to get going. If Kabalion doesn't have rocks, I don't know what other hazards he could present, but that would mean Ogerpon, Cornerstone gets to preserve its sturdy, which means that even if you're in a position to blow it up something like Manaphy, it can get like an Ivy Cudgel or a Horn Leech. It would be Horn Leech in this case, back off and threaten the KO depending on what boosts you've gotten. So that's one thing to keep in mind is if you can keep that sturdy around to not switch in and then revenge kill if you're slower, but you can look for that.
So let's go ahead and start. We see Manaphy and Palafin lead right away. Not a great lead for Palafin. Palafin wants to flip turn on any Pokemon that is slower, and Manaphy is, well, a speed tie. So you're pretty much forced to switch out here, fearing an Energy Ball. Switching into Metagross is a strange switch-in. I don't see how Metagross, 1, takes a Surf, or 2, 1v1s a Manaphy that's boosting in your face. But anyway, we'll continue on. And it's just going to boost in your face. And Metagross lives. Gets an Earthquake for a solid 27. This is looking really bad. Continuing on. Just Bullet Punch for some chip. Energy Ball just to show you have it. And in comes the Ogerpon to force a switch out, which I think is really nice. It would have been maybe nicer if you didn't have to sack your whole Metagross to it. Um, in fact, I think even switching in Ogerpon there instead of Metagross on turn 2 would have been decently advisable, because if he goes for Tail Glow, you're forcing a switch out and you're getting a free Ivy Cudgel or Power Whip or whatever you want. And if you get hit, well, you live it, so wouldn't be too terrible.
Yeah, looking at Metagross's matchup, if it hadn't gone down, obviously Kyurem doesn't want to necessarily take bullet punches if it's low after getting a sudden sweep going, and Grafaiais can't.
Yeah, I just don't think you switch in well to this guy at all. But we're gonna see a low kick here, getting very greedy and fishing for that Cobalion switch. I don't hate it, but I do think an Ivy Cudgel there, I might have threatened a KO straight up on Skull Kid, the Zelda guy. Guess all these guys are Zelda, huh? Midna. And yeah, if you didn't kill, it's still a speed tie here, so you're risking, if you're Alex here, getting smashed. But I assume we're just going to trade Ivy Cudgels. Yep, and there goes Skull Kid. Rip Skull Kid. Here comes Pecharunt. Hopefully I don't get canceled for saying that. To Malignant Chain onto Ting Lu. If he gets the Toxic here, he's a hacker. Yep.
He's a hacker. So, really quickly, do the Ogerpon forms have different speeds, or is that a speed tie, or maybe Alex is running max speed and Whale Cookie isn't? Because when they traded the Ivy Cudgels.
The Ogerpon forms, all that the mask changes is their secondary type. So they have the same exact speed stats, and I'm almost confident that both of them are running max speed. Like in Whale Cookie's case, the only Pokemon that outspeeds him on Alex's team is actually nobody. It's a speed tie with both Ogerpon and Grafaiais, so taking advantage of that max speed would be really useful. And for Alex, your Ogerpon definitely wants to be guaranteed faster than a max speed Palafin, so that he can't just wave crash and win the game. So I would definitely anticipate that they'd both be max speed.
Yeah, that was a speed tie. That's a pretty important one because you lose your sturdy off of that. Not to mention the chip.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We're gonna see a parting shot from Zant the Pecharunt into Lineru. Is that how you say that?
Don't ask me.
The Ting Lu gets hacked here, missing the opportunity, I assume, to set up hazards. Do you see a hazard remover on Alex's team?
I believe his only hazard removal is Kamala, and it's not there, so no. Ting Lu hazard spam could be quite the problem, especially when you only have one set of HTBs to bring, and you really want that on Kyurem, because if Stealth Rock comes up, you don't want to be taking that big chip every time Kyurem comes in and then gets forced to switch out by something. So yeah, if that was a Stealth Rock click and you get hacked out of it, that is sad. You hate to see that.
Yeah, but something tells me that this Kyurem, based on that damage, is probably choice spec, so you might not even have a Boots guy on this team. Whirlwind is an interesting click. I don't know if I hate that, because you don't know for sure if Kyurem's substitute Dragon Dance type set, and if he goes for a setup move or a status move in front of you, then you're forcing him out and he's losing all his momentum. However, Spikes would be really good. And I feel like with this, especially seeing that there's an Earthquake click here, we're not going to see Spikes on Alex's side of the field, which is a huge win for him. In any case, -1 Earthquake still does 41 to Cobalion, which is egregious. But yeah, it's pretty much over here. Body Press suggests to me that you're a defensive Cobalion.
It's crazy you still take 40 on defensive Cobalion.
Exactly. In comes Moltres, which should hard wall this unless the Cobalion has Stone Edge, but I doubt it. Yeah. Huge Hurricane miss.
Big hacks for Cookie. Or against Cookie, rather.
And then switcherooing the Black Sludge on, taking the heavy duty boots off is insanely bad. Let's see what happens here. Oh my goodness. A Zen Headbutt, when you would think that Wave Crash would be a fairly easy click here, but no, it probably doesn't. It probably still does more damage than Zen Headbutt, but
You do save yourself recoil. The only thing is, after Zen Headbutt, are you in the range now after Parting Shot? Because if you weren't at -1, Zen Headbutt obviously picks up a 2-hit KO here, but with Parting Shot and not getting all the damage from Wave Crash, I don't know if you can threaten a 1-hit KO here and risk getting poisoned and confused.
right, that's definitely true. Although I believe that Pecharunt is not faster than Palafin, so if as long as you're getting a 2-hit KO, it might not matter. But that is a good point that with -1, I don't know if you would be a 2-hit KO. It might be a roll. In any case, let's continue. We see the Rocky Helmet on Pecharunt, which is really scary, and a flinch. That's just as I say.
Agency.
And no miss on the Zen Headbutt to clean up the Pecharunt, and all of a sudden, this game is not looking that terrible for a Cookie. As long as you can avoid a Manaphy sweep here, you have a chance to win.
Is it possible that he's banded on Palafin and that's why he hasn't gone for Wave Crash to avoid the miss?
I want to say that Choice Band is very likely. I don't know exactly the calcs against Pecharunt, but you have to remember it's a base 160 defense Pokemon, and it's taking over a third from a -1 non-stab Zen Headbutt. So I could totally see Choice Band being in play. I don't know if you're worried about a Wave Crash miss, because I do think the move is 100% accurate. And Zen Headbutt is
Zen
not.
Headbutt miss.
Right. But it does hit Kyurem a little better. Now, if you're worried about Kyurem, I guess you would go for CC, but then again, if Pecha runs up, you don't want to lock yourself into CC. It might be the best mid-ground play. Not sure, though. In any case, we'll see what goes on turn 16. A Moltres hard into the Manaphy, which seems like a bold play, but looking back at this, other than Cobalion, does Moltres really do anything for you in this game?
Does Moltres have leftovers? Can you let this play? What item is it running? Oh, that's right. It's Black Sludge. Did it get it? Was it Boots that it got switched out of?
Say that again.
It got switcherooed, so the Moltres has Black Sludge right now. Was it Heavy Duty Boots that Grafaiais stole from it?
Yes.
I was wondering what item it had if it wasn't running Boots, but okay, that makes sense.
Yes, that was the case. But yeah, we're gonna see a sack on Moltres here, which I think is a reasonably good play, so that you can come in with your Iron Valiant, which is threatening to clean up with close combat. I believe, talking to Cookie before this game, that he was planning to run a max attack Iron Valiant, foregoing any sort of Moonblast and just smashing with fighting type coverage, which I think is fairly advisable against Alex's team. Once the Pecharunt goes down, like where's the fighting resist?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he needed to play safer with Petron. It's interesting. If Iron Valiant is purely physical, then that leaves you with Valiant, Palafin, who we think is choice banded, um, Ogerpon, and Metagross, and you have no special damage unless you were running like Flamethrower on Moltres, which is not great. But I don't know if Alex has physical walls on his team besides Petrant, which it took a lot of hits to go down. To be fair, but I don't know. Maybe you were opening yourself up to some more physical walls.
Right, and that goes to show the difference between draft and ladder, because you don't need to have a general team in a draft battle, because you might have a case where Alex's team seems to be weaker to all your physical attacks than it does to your potential special attacks. So you might say, forget my special attackers. Although I guess Whale Cookie is a very physically oriented team anyway. Let's see if this close combat kills. It does not quite, and you're going -1 special defense, and then we see a luring voice.
Bro, just click Surf. There's no way Surf doesn't kill.
Well, let's see. Surf is 90, stab boost gets you effectively 135. Alluring voice is 80 times 2, effectively 160. I think it is actually more powerful, the alluring voice. I do like that as a sort of cover on Swords Dance, if you think that that's going to be clicked, because if he Swords Dances here, it's game over. But Cookie just takes his damage here, which I really like that. And the fact that you lived that just barely, even with the rocks chip, is insane. I wonder if there's actually any special defense in there. Probably not, but maybe.
So let's see. What does it come down to now? Who takes a close combat? Physically defensive Cobalion? Maybe he needs to go Grafaiais and it's at 59. I don't know. Maybe if he can get it at -1. Maybe Kieran has Ice Shard, but close combat might just start punching a lot of holes that it's going to be difficult to fill when Choice Man Palafin comes back in too.
Oh, for sure. So I assume you're gonna sack here with a knockoff. In comes Cobalion, which is that gonna take close combat even if it's Choppleberry?
I don't know. It's not Scarf, right? Because it went for Stealth Body Press. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Oh my god. I didn't know that. I was not familiar with your game, Cobalion.
Oh my goodness. When have you ever seen a quick attack Cobalion kill anything?
Without that, the game state was looking questionable if there was no quick attack on that Cobalion. So it's a very good thing it paid off. Thank God it killed. It would have been very embarrassing if it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It definitely seemed like if you didn't have that in your back pocket, that you would have had to go like Grafaiais and start doing 50-50s with your parting shot against a potential Swords Dance. Would not have been a fun end game here, but now we're getting a little more interesting because it doesn't even seem clear to me that Cookie has this game lost at this point. You've got two guys, one with a very strong priority move and one who's faster than the rest of the team, barring a speed tie with Grafaiais. Maybe that's what this game will come down to, in fact. In comes the Ogre Pawn to low kick, a Choppleberry, and you live. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
If Ogerpon, or not Ogerpon, excuse me, if Palafin had come in and close combat, that would have killed, right?
Almost certainly, but I guess you don't know exactly how much speed this thing is running. I guess you could run a calc to see how much defense investment there is, and if it seems like it's max HP, max defense, then you can be confident that your Wave Crash or your close combat, if you have it, is going to pick up the kill. But man, well, is this game lost? Likely so. In any case, we'll see this played out. Quick attack for a solid 11%.
Locks himself in a jet punch, which is unfortunate.
and does not get the kill on Grafaiais, and Alex wins this game 2-0. Um, oh my, we need a thing on the bingo sheet where Alex says some sus shit in the chat. In any case, I thought that was a great game.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a rocky start for Cookie. Anyways, if those ogre pawns were speed tying, then taking that like 50-40% that you took from Ivy Country before yours could pick up the KO, that might be the difference maker. Depending on how much you were taking from body press. I assume you were taking a lot, but if you had gone Palafin first instead of Ogre Pawn's extra HP might have made a difference. So I think the endgame was super tight.
Right. I think a lot of unfortunate things happened for Cookie, like getting confused on that Ting Lu to not have the chance to get hazards or anything of the sort. That probably made a big difference. Like one layer of spikes really constricts Alex's endgame. Though I guess you could say or also argue that maybe it's a Cookie's misplay that caused that, because you had the chance to get a spike up and you clicked Earthquake against Cobalion, but you also kind of needed that chip. I think the quick attack on Cobalion is probably the MVP of this game. That is insane that you have the foresight to bring that and that it actually worked out for you. I don't know exactly what the planned scenario was. Maybe if you did get Ogre Pond down to its 30, but like that it worked out that way is just beautiful to see. So I guess we'll go on to the next game. We have Pez with the Pez Dispensers of Death, and our boy Ethan with his construction crew. If Pez loses this game, I guess we're gonna say that he couldn't even beat a team of construction workers.
Yeah, it would. I would be impressed if Pez's team, like if you just look 6-on-6, if one team is like a lot of OU staples, and the other team is you got some U hitters in there holding it down, and then you start going a little lower, then you have slacking. So it's like on paper, you just have like the firepower that should dominate this game, especially when you have sun and they have no sun abuse or way to interact with weather at all. I think so. I am praying for a Pez versus the World W here, because anything less is it's time to start the fraud discussions as early as week 1, I would say.
Oh my goodness, that is a bold claim from somebody who we just saw lose. In any
Oh, well,
case,
we can start those discussions. I think I'm a fraud.
in any case, let's say you're the Virbank complex construction. What are you gonna do to stop Torkoal from leading?
Uh, this I don't know. I don't think you can.
I mean, maybe
You
Garg.
you could yeah, maybe Garg Salt Cure. You could go Phalanx and go straight for the no retreat and try and do something with that, man. I don't know. You have one special attacker and it's G Weezing.
Yeah, yeah, there's no chance that you're gonna punish this Torkoal lead here, I don't think. But it seems like I've got the right idea here. We're gonna trade rocks on turn 1, which is super lame. Wait till turn 17 to do it, please. Salt Cure onto Rotom. Really bad for Rotom here. Gonna take tons of chip, but you've got a relatively free Volt Switch. Did you notice that this Virbank complex construction team has like 3 ground types on it, and 0 of them were brought to this game.
Yeah, I think the most obvious missing link is Excadrill, right? Where's Excadrill? Do you have hazard control without him? Does G-Weezing get defog? Otherwise, Torkoal is always coming to get its rocks. Great Tusk is there as a rocker as well, and that's always coming as well. So there's 2 mons that are always coming. One of them's going to be bringing rocks. You figure bringing some form of hazard move is pretty good. And yeah, no Excadrill to deal with this Rotom Volt, which sucks.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, G-Weezing does get defog, so you do have the opportunity to get rid of these rocks, but I totally agree that Excadrill seems like it would do pretty decent. You can't switch into the Earthquake if you're Pez's team here. In fact, look at Pez's Earthquake switch-ins when Mold Breaker's taken into account. You have Lilligant, and that's just not it. In any case, you can tell we're definitely getting lower down on the power rankings here. No offense to these guys. Volt switch out into...
Man, failing system ass. It just took 38 from a neutral Volt switch. That is unfortunate. Oh no, it's booster attack with a rapid spin. How many does it get here? 4? 5? If you're booster, do you keep your, it would have knocked off booster, right? Even though photosynthesis.
Yeah, I have no idea. It didn't say the booster energy was used, was it? The harsh sunlight activated it.
Right.
So what item do you have that didn't get knocked off here? Did he just not bring an item? Or are we missing something here?
I don't know. I have a weird feeling that booster doesn't get knocked off if you have your photosynthesis active or your core drive active.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not. Hopefully Great Tusk just stays in and clicks for a couple turns and we can see if as soon as stun ends if booster activates. I think it's ridiculous that knockoff doesn't take off a booster if you have it and it's not active, but maybe that's just how it works.
Yeah,
this guard can't Terra, it's dead.
It's so dead. Gone.
Here it goes. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Wait. What if... Okay. Yeah, that's...
What if he switched to G-Weezing on any of these? Or
what if he was G-Weezing with neutralizing gas and got rid of the Proto? I mean, obviously, I think.
But then don't you get Earthquaked and explode or headlonged, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is probably going to be a single-digit game sweep.
He's gonna lose everyone, and then Mach Punch is gonna pick up the KO on Tusk and then immediately die.
I definitely see the game.
Yeah, it was neutralizing gas. Oh, it is booster.
So you can't knock off booster energy? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I don't think you can knock off booster.
That's insane.
That's so weird. Why does it? Maybe because they're like, oh, boosters always get. If you have booster on a mon, it's always gonna activate when you send it out, so you'll never have it knocked off. But that's not the case if you.
Yeah, I don't. I wonder if that's a showdown thing, and that if maybe they haven't tested it in game because it's such an uncommon thing that happens.
It is funny now though that because he's rapid spin since booster activated, his speed is now his highest stat, and so photosynthesis now boost.
Yeah, that is funny that speed is what gets boosted here. Actually matters against the slacking too, which is insane. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the attack would have done it. Oh my god, it's a Drain Punch?
What? Drain Punch into this low defense and it still doesn't kill? Is he choice banded?
He's a burger flipper, that's for sure.
Oh, well, he's a 2-pointer, and maybe he deserved 1.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should have let him
That
have
should
it
have
for
been
free.
Excadrill right there. That should have been Excadrill.
But Excadrill can't even do anything either because you're slower. Oh man, this game was so gooped.
Alright, well, at least Mach Punch picks up a KO. At least it's not a 6-0.
Wow.
Switch to port. Switch to port. Switch to port. No, your differential.
Damn. And like that, he's 1 point lower than me.
The
Oh
first-
my god. Could you imagine if he missed that there, got knocked off, and lost his Bolt too? Oh my god. All right, what do you think about that? The 12-turn game. Are we going to see a faster sweep than that?
I don't know. That's a pretty low turn count. I don't know if I think you could have speedrun this a little quicker if you had switched instead of getting rocks up. I don't know if you need the rock chip on your Tusk. I also don't know if you needed that rapid spin to outspeed anything, because then your booster would have boosted your attack again. So maybe you could have done it less turns. But
yeah,
we're
true.
talking about
Yeah.
optimizing a sweep here. So I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. That was a game. That was one of the games of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my game, I guess it technically ended on turn 4. So
Well, if you looked at my game, I think it ended on the team builder. Now we have the last game. We would have another game usually, but one of our players dropped out of the league. We did fill his spot, but in fairness to the opponent, we're going to give them a little bit of extra time to readjust themselves to some team changes that have occurred. And we will hopefully get to see their debuts next week. As it stands, though, we have the Velvet Room versus Team Zander. Any notes for the matchups that you see here? I had no idea what Pokemon would be brought on each of these teams.
yeah, I'm not really sure how Halucha is gonna. I mean, I guess it's gonna close combat White Herb to get Unburden going, but yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, it is so scary that Iron Boulder unboosted is faster than Halucha unboosted. What an insane Pokemon. Who thought that was a good idea? In any case, I think if I'm Chalk Flame, I might lead with Enamorus just to let him know. I don't know. Actually, that probably is not good against Scizor.
Does Enamorus get Mystical Fire?
Ooh, does it? I don't know. Let's see.
I'd hope we'll find out if it does, because I'm assuming Chalk Flame would bring it if it does.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty decent against this team. Let's just see what the lead matchup is. Enamorus, yep, and Baxcalibur, nope.
In the arms of the angels. Hey, at least I waited. Oh, no, never mind. I did sack on turn 1. Never mind. I can't say anything. You can talk shit, but I can't. Never mind. I sacked for Bombi. He sacked Baxcalibur. I think one of those is a higher value Pokemon.
We have seen 3 double-digit Pokemon sacked on turn 1 this week. This week. What?
And we're missing a game.
This is definitely a Mickey Mouse league. Any case, see you Baxcalibur. Here comes the Scizor, and we switch out. So I'm assuming that this is a Choice Scarf Enamorus. I don't know if you need Choice Scarf necessarily. I guess it lets you outspeed Halucha at neutral, and it lets you stop any other Scarf guys. I think you're faster than... Are you faster than Torterra before it? Like, even after it boosts without it? No. So I
Before
guess
you
need
hit
it.
play here, Iron Moth just used booster energy, which means Iron Boulder is not going to be booster energy.
And frankly, that's more scary.
Yeah, that thing is a choice band.
Oh my
May
god.
God rest your soul.
Special attack, I like it. Get that damage. All right, where's the switch in? Okay, I don't know if that's the switch in. I think maybe I would have went to Chandelure. Now Chandelure probably doesn't take Sledge Wave as well, but I think you need to save your Samurot's HP. But if you did switch into Chandelure, well, now you've got Flash Fire boost. Unless you're fucking Flame Body or Infiltrator for some reason. Oh,
Wow, no Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet surely would have picked up a KO there.
and here comes Silky. I just realized that all these Pokemon are named after Shin Megami Tensei demons. In any case, here comes the Halucha to take a Tail Slap, a Rock Blast. So you have to switch. Takes absolutely nothing. White Herb? Yes. And switches out. Oh my gosh. This game is
Is it
looking...
going to be a 6?
This is going to be a 6-0. There's no shot that Zander wins this. Where's his win con? Shell Smash Torkoal?
If Mystical Fire comes out, I'm going to go bananas.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Oh my god.
Is he Choice Specs?
I don't know. All I know is that Scizor was not flipping burgers like this when I played him.
I think this is a completely offensive Scizor with like absolutely no special defense. Probably no HP either. Jesus Christ.
And now Hisui and Gudra comes in to take the Mach Punch, or Bullet Punch, excuse me. Nope, I guess, I wonder if it's a roll to kill here.
It might
No,
have
it's
been.
not. It's Life Orb.
No, I don't. I just don't like Life Orb. Like in on most Pokemon, especially not Scizor, man. You're just chipping yourself out on a Pokemon that's supposed to be bulky enough to switch in to take a hit. It's not. Oh man, this is gonna be a terrible game.
Scizor Life Orb is only good if you're using it as like the game is. I know he doesn't have a lot of good steel resist. I can keep Scizor at the back, and then I can come in at the end of the game and Life Orb Bullet Punch my way through a weakened team. But
I guess, but you've got
like
two
half
good
half like
resists.
Hisui and Gudra is going to take a Life Orb Bullet Punch, and you are going to take more damage for that play.
And he's probably gonna take a Life Orb close combat too thereafter. It's a pretty bulky Pokemon. All right, let's see Iron Moth clean it up here. Well, I guess Halucha's gonna force the switch, or maybe the sack. Ooh, I don't know if I like taking that acrobatics there. I was thinking maybe we could see a Crest switch, because Crest does seem like a Pokemon that would take this decently well. Or honestly, you could just sack Iron Moth. Like, I don't think you needed to beat the rest of those guys. I guess it might be nice against Torterra, but like Torterra's gonna Terra, so forget it. We're gonna see a switch to Crest now. Yeah, see, look how little it took. Oh no. Calm Mind. Oh no, Choice Spec Shadow Ball. Yikes. You see a switch to Cinccino. Tail Slap, please. Rock Blast is okay as well. I think Tail Slap probably would have killed Halucha, especially if you were Terra normal. Keep in mind, Cinccino has the opportunity to Terra.
Cheeto also has triple axle, which could have been interesting to also cover for Torterra.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And unless it was a Flame Body Chandelure, and if you're running Flame Body Chandelure, you're just not serious. Triple Axle would have covered either switch. It's okay. I think I would have liked to see a Tail Slap there though, if at the very least, because we know that it's got that. Or maybe if you Terra, I don't know, maybe he's Terra Grass and that's why he's not Terraing.
What would you be Terra Grass for though against this team? Like besides Hisui and Samurai, like Baxcalibur, you don't want to be a grass type. Uh, Halucha, you don't want to be a grass type. Shadalure, you don't want to be a grass type. Scizor U-turn, I guess, you don't want to be a grass type.
Maybe he was just afraid of Samurott specifically, so he decided, let me bring a hard counter to Samurott. I mean, with the rest of your team, you can afford to do that, I guess. But yeah, again, a tail slap here on turn 16 would have been great. We're going to see a sack of Iron Moth right now. I feel like if you sacked it earlier, you would have had a lot more momentum, but I don't hate the sack right now.
Your name would have like 70% more HP.
That's definitely true. So in comes Cresselia to tank the acrobatics, and ooh, Moonlight. Oh no. SD, and then you're gonna get psychicked. Oh. Why did you not kill that there?
Maybe he's saying if I Calm Mind, I can live a Shadow Ball. But I don't know why you would.
Maybe.
Because we are approaching Iron Boulder cleans up territory.
I guess you still get the kill there, and you're probably still gonna have to sack this Pokemon either way.
That sucks. But also, that was Inferno.
Never cook again, please. Inferno? What the fuck is Inferno for? It's
That's when
less
you
damage than
overheat.
Fire Blast, I believe. Is it? Is it base 100? I don't know.
I think it gets overheat. I think it gets both overheat and Fire Blast, right?
Oh yeah, Overheat would have been more damage. Fire Blast maybe would have been more damage. 50% accurate move to burn a Cresselia.
A 20% Cresselia. Or 30% leftovers, excuse me. Hey, it worked for Cookie when he zap cannoned me last season, but I don't think these are the kind of plays you should be making week 1 saying, yeah, I need 50% moves to win this game. So, sometimes you just gotta click the all reliable. And so Chuck Flame intended to sack Cresselia here. I'm sure he's very happy that this goes through. I don't know how much damage Cress is going to do to Torterra. Maybe you want something better in versus Torterra so you don't get set up on. Although Torterra's very slow, so we would have to get 2 Shell Smashes to probably catch a lot of things. I guess we'll see. Let's just see how this plays out. I want to see how this game plays out. Don't bring Inferno, kids.
Please don't. Well, Cresselia might even have a Ice Beam, and depending on your Terra, that you might be screwed. In any case, yeah, Psychic kills. Here comes Torterra to Shell Smash. No White Orb, remember that. Moonblast. Moonblast for less damage than Psychic. I don't know exactly why you would go for that, but Psychic would be a 2-hit KO. Torterra is faster now.
You gotta fish for drops sometimes.
Wait. The Iron Boulder's not booster. So if it's not Scarf, then it's going to be slower than Torterra.
I think this could be getting really shiced really quickly.
Woodhammer, that kills. Gudra, Fafnir, he stole my nickname. Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That crit totally mattered. He was Terra Grass. See, I got the call.
You were right. Oh my god.
That totally mattered. Well, Cinccino's really fucking weak.
Triple Axel, I mean, he didn't Terra Torterra. Triple Axel kills the fuck out of that thing. It's at -1. Your Technician Triple Axel, you get 3 hits every time. There's no way Torterra lives.
Well, but what I'm saying is I don't think that Cinccino lived even through the crit.
You're saying no crit?
The crit might not even matter. If you're no investment into Cinccino here, which you're probably not. Well, I don't know.
Pull up a calc. This one's worth calcing.
All right, let's see.
We haven't calced all games, but I want to see this calc.
If I can type. It probably does, because think about it. It's like it would be like a neutral earthquake, right? Cinchino, probably no investment versus Torterra. OU Shell Smash, insane. Oh my lord, it might not have, because that's headlong rush damage, and it not a guaranteed KO. So here's Earthquake.
You're at +2 though.
You're at +2.
Oh, but it's not very effective. You Terra Grass.
Yep. So let's see, Terra Grass. Moment of truth. It mattered.
Is this Adamant Torterra?
I believe so. Yep.
Oh my god, it mattered.
Holy shit.
It's so funny that it's running loaded dice on it with bullet seed and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't think that's probably not his set if he's running.
I wonder why
Woodhammer.
Torterra hasn't terra'd yet. I hope it does. I want to know what it is. I don't know if Zander knows how to terra.
It's literally a button right there at the bottom. So yeah, it's Jover unless you have a Scarf Pokemon. Oh, Terra Blast no Terra is insane.
Brooms out.
Did I just see Torterra 6-0?
No, I think he got 5. I think Iron Moth got sacked to Halucha.
Oh my god.
So, for anyone watching, if you don't want this to happen to you, there's a cool item in the game called Mirror Herb, which when your opponent raises stats, you copy them. If you want to be really shyst, bring Mirror Herb on the turn he thinks he's going to Shell Smash and copy his boosts. Otherwise, click better moves and expect Shell Smash Rotera. Also, don't get crit, stupid. It's just that easy.
Oh my gosh. I'm thinking about all the possibilities, like a Choice Scarf Moth or a Choice Scarf Enam or a Booster Energy Iron Boulder would have stopped this.
I think Iron Boulder needs the booster over Moth. I think Moth can run Specs or Scarf a lot easier.
Yeah, like anything to.
Alright, we can give Chalkflame shit for this, for not preparing for it in the team builder, but he had Terra Grass Cinchino, which got crit. So that's just really unfortunate that it worked that way.
Oh my gosh.
I want to know what Terra type he was, man.
It wouldn't matter really.
No. I'm just curious.
Maybe Terra Electric would have mattered if you like it helps you live the bullet seed from a potential Cinchino. Probably not with -1 and loaded dice and technician, but oh man. I don't even know what to say to that.
I think I need to go reconsider my draft and pick up a Shell Smasher.
That's what I did. Oh, speaking of that, I guess we can look at trades that have happened. Here's our beautiful cover sheet. So, the We're Not Beating Anybody has undergone some serious reconstruction with a new guy. We're letting him have unlimited free agency for a week or so to fix up the team the way he wants. I like now that you have Walking Wake with a Sunsetter. Now it is insane that there are 2 Sun teams this league, but I guess when Photosynthesis Mons are that broken, you expect to see it. I like Latias, pretty scary in the end games. King Gambit, very scary in the end games. Sylveon is a pretty solid, bulky fairy type. I think this team is a pretty decent bit better than what it used to be.
I agree. I still think Muck and Frogadier are fraudulent Pokemon. Um, and I think you could probably find a better pickup than those two, but
Yeah, but like for 6 points that you have to allocate between two Pokemon, it's not easy. I think Muck is not terrible because of a grounded poison type, so you can get rid of toxic spikes and
Victory Bell.
Frogadier. I guess you do have Victory Bell, but you might Terra Victory Bell. Um, and Frogadier is, well, not great, but it's decently fast and it spikes. So for 2 points, you're not going to get much better than that.
Grassy Glide, Choice Band, Thwacky.
Yes. Now I believe, I don't know if you've made this change on your sheet, but you were looking to drop Dusknoir and
Heatran.
Heatran to pick up Goldengo, which is newly available, and Crocalor?
That's correct, yes.
I could see why you would want Heatran with the synergy with Rabombi, but what's up with Crocalor?
Yeah, so Crocalor, I needed to drop a point because Goldango is 16, so going from Heatran to Goldango needs I need to pick up another point somewhere else. Dusknoir, I don't need I mean, Golden Go is going to spin block, so I don't need Dusknoir for any sort of spin blocking, and Crocalor, there's not a lot of great 3-point and below mons. I know I joked about Terragrass Thwacky with Choice Band, but I mean Meowscarada is right there, so I don't really need that threat. And also I think Crocalor is the only one that might get me some value with Unaware. I could consider restructuring my Terra Captains, making it a bulky Terra pivot, playing it a bit like Skeledirge with Unaware and Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. So I think it just offers me a lot more possibility than Dusknoir does, and at the same time it gives me a sort of another like bulkier fire type Pokemon for stuff I might need to switch into. Obviously not Shiyu because I just get Dark Pulse and fucking explode, but you know, other fire types I might need to be afraid of.
Yeah, I mean, granted, for a 3-point pick, I don't see what you're gonna get that's much better than that, but it does. I'd be remiss not to mention that you're switching Heatran, who's a ground weak Pokemon, for Goldengo, another ground weak, and then Dusknoir for a ground weak. And I'm looking at this team and I'm saying your relationship with Earthquake is going to be very not good in the future.
Yeah, you're definitely not remiss in saying that. So that's one thing I'm looking to consider in the upcoming weeks. But for now, I'm trying this out while I can.
Mm-hmm. So the Pez dispensers, it looks like they've dropped Earthworm and I could not tell you what the other Pokemon on this team was. For Overquill and Virizion. Virizion on a team that already has Lilligant is a little interesting, but I guess Virizion works better if you're not using Sun, so it's not a bad Pokemon. It would be a lot nicer as a Terra Captain, I think, but I guess he wants to have Overquill as a Terra Captain.
Okay. I've got the free agency trades are dropping Articuno Galar, Hisuian Sneasel, and Earthworm to pick up Overquill, Virizion, and Pikachu.
Oh, that's right. He had Galar Articuno. Well, that thing was a fraud, so I'm glad that that's gone. Well, maybe I'm not, because I guess I'd rather not have to prepare for more Pokemon. But Overquill's kind of weird. I mean, I guess you didn't have a Dark type, so like having that Dark type presence is not bad.
Can stop you from getting stored power swept.
Right, and it would be a good, like, I guess a decent answer to Rain, but I don't see anybody having a Rain team, so maybe that's not going to be a part of its repertoire. I don't know. It's another spiker as well, so you don't have to necessarily bring Klefki to every game to set spikes. Pikachu is, I mean, it's Pikachu. What is it? What is it gonna do?
It's just a 1-pointer to fill when you picked up. I don't know about Verzian. What do you think about Verzian?
There could maybe be a better Pokemon there, but once again, I still think it's a decent Pokemon on like a non-Sun variation. Like it is pretty fast. It's not like super duper fast, but I think it's 108 maybe. So it might have a bit of utility. It's maybe another Pokemon that you'd have to see how it does for you and maybe make a judgment call on whether you need to switch it out. There are a lot of really good Terra Pokemon in the 9-point tier, like Sylveon, Jolteon, like Hoopa, that could definitely be worth considering if you're still looking for a trade. But Virizion, to try it out, is not so bad. I believe. Well, I'll talk about the Grafted Grafaiais trades next. We see we're dropping Cobalion, which was so instrumental in winning that last game, to pick up Zamazenta. That's scary. Very fast. The ability is nerfed, but it's still good. And yeah, you have to burn it. You definitely have to burn it. I don't recall what the other Pokemon was that he had that he dropped for Rotomoth.
It's Pecharunt.
Pecharunt. Oh.
And the Terra Captain has also switched from Grafaiai to the newly picked up Rotom Frost.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that per se. I do think that Zamazenta gives you a lot more of an offensive presence, but like look at how top heavy this team is. Like I feel like it's going to be it's going to be hard to justify not bringing the top 5 plus Grafaiai, or maybe Rhyperior if that matches up better. Like, and Rotom Frost as a ground immunity is not super fantastic, so your ground immunities remain Oricorio, also not super fantastic, and Enamorus, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's okay. I think it'll be dangerous.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how to feel about the Rotom Frost, but the Zam is definitely very scary.
Definitely agreed. And then we have my team, the Aurora Starstorm. I also made some trades this week. After getting the quickest kill in the league, well, I guess now tied because everybody's a fraud, I had to drop Terrakion. I mean, the boy fell to PU. He fell off really bad.
PU, that brother stinks.
No, I mean, I think he's a lot better than PU suggests. I think he just didn't get usage because there's so many.
I think he immediately got put in PUBL, but I might be mistaken. I think
he
immediately got kicked out of the PU.
Yes, I think that is
It's like
true.
Kanye dunking on people in wheelchairs. Like, that's absurd. It's based on usage. It's not based on, I think he belongs in PU. It's just like, that's just so insane. Like, he's matching up against, like, Pokemon that, like, probably see play in Little Cup. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I saw it was like Plusle, Minun, and Terrakion going down to PU. It was I don't think he's that bad. I think he's probably going to work his way up to RU, maybe UU later in this generation. But I wanted something that was maybe a little faster and maybe a little bit more dangerous as a Terra guy, so I picked up Minior. Minior had that really funny bounty going for it. Did you see that?
I did. I saw it. What is it? Is it top 20 OU?
I believe top
peak
25.
With Minior?
Yeah,
and,
for like a couple $1,000s to get there. That is really funny. And then, gosh, I cannot remember what. Knuckle Stack. I dropped that as well to afford myself the Rock once again, but this time his fire type cousin. Maybe we'll call him Dwayne. But Yeah, I think he's gonna be nice. Will-O-Wisp access is good. He's base 100, which is faster than a lot of the threats on, well, for example, Alex's team. Um, and fighting coverage is nice. There are a lot of teams in this league right now who don't have really great fighting type switch-ins. I mean, the January Sixers do, but the rest of them a little questionable. A lot of great dark types and a lot of great steel types, but you also have to balance them out with some ghost types if you can. And then finally, I had 1 point left over, so I picked up Chimecho, who is a ground immunity. It gets Heal Bell. That's basically it. It's not great.
Can it store power sweep?
if you get stored power swept by Chimecho, it's over for you. You need to quit the league.
I expect to see it. I expect to see against the Virbank complex. I want to see both the Arbok climax and the Chimecho stored power sweep in one game.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll definitely consider it. Yeah, I think those drops were decent for me. I do like getting rid of ground weaknesses and replacing them with immunities. I make a huge deal about ground weaknesses because so many good Pokemon get earthquakes, and you like not being able to switch into them is a massive detriment.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a look at that on the Dark Flower Magicians. We're gonna have to evaluate. There could be a Skarmory pickup in our future, as a hazard stack that's immune to ground, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, that could be interesting. I guess now let's look at the stats. Well, we'll see this game eventually. It looks like in terms of differential, Alex is +2, I'm +6, Pez is +5. Your game
Jeff
needs
is
to get put
+3.
in. Jeff is +3. Ooh, that's scary. And Xander +1. So here are the standings. Of course, we're going to have to put in an L for your boys, the Dark Flower Magicians, and then a W for the January Sixers on January 6th.
Deserved for how I played.
And then these two will be TBD. The MVP race, I believe Great Tusk is on top. Or maybe Torterra.
Torterra, probably, right? Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to split the thumbnail, and that's going to be two great searches in my history later. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to see Terapagos up there, but I guess I need to get more than 3 paltry kills with it if I do want that. And that basically is it, right?
Yeah, that's it so far. Can you go to the see the week 2 games? Let's see what are the games we're looking to watch.
All right, for week 2 we have Alex versus Blake. You want to make a pick on that?
Alex.
What if I put the spread at +3.5?
Just bring it to the next game. Pick Alex.
Jackson versus Joel. Now Joel, I'll say he has not played consistently in competitive since Gen 6, but Jackson has never played consistently in competitive, so.
Yeah, Jackson might not bring Blood Moon again, and then his team flounders.
Well, if Jackson doesn't bring Blood Moon, not only does he deserve to lose, but he will lose.
Yeah. Also, Jackson's team is slow. I think Calm Mind Latias behind screens might just run that bag with like a stored power set.
I could see that. I don't even know if you necessarily need all of that. You could probably run things that are a little more consistent. But yeah, I think Joel's team's got some options. I think I'd favor Joel in this matchup. Ethan versus Cookie.
Does Ethan have? I guess he has Hisuian. Not Hisuian.
Hisuian
Galarian
Samurai?
Weezing.
Oh, Galarian.
Otherwise, like, does anything stop the Valiant?
Yeah. What if I put the spread at +3.5?
Valiant gets Psyshock, right? If he just runs like Psyshock, Moonblast, CC, is it not Raps?
Yeah, so I think this one's gonna be Raps for the Virbank construction. Your game versus me. Who you think?
Well, it depends if I play like I did last game or not. Otherwise, if I do, it will be a blowout, and I won't get 3 like I did against Jeff. I'll get 0. Um, so we'll see. We'll we'll have to see. I know I don't have a lot of good earthquake resists, and you don't have a lot of good make it rain switch-ins besides like Tauros that you picked up. So things could get a little shiced. I'm excited to play this game. I'm excited to get my in my power rankings.
You're 1 and 2 from your power rankings. Yep. Uh, they're. I mean, I'll speak more on it when I do my preparations. I'm not trying to give away everything right now. Um, Obviously, I have to be confident in myself. If I was looking at it objectively, I still think I favor my team. It's got great pivoting potential, and you don't have like a super duper strong wall breaker. Latios is pretty good, but like I think as long as I don't play like make some really bad plays early on, I think I can keep myself in the game.
Yeah, let's just say when Scrafty clicks Dragon Dance, you're cooked.
If I lose to Dragon Dance Grafty, that would be something. Nick, oh wait, hold on. What are you gonna do about Unaware Clef?
Then you're taking Hazard Ship,
Not if I'm Boots.
but then your Terapagos isn't Boots.
That's fine. We have Nick versus Pez. Pez with a very dominant week 1. Do you think he's gonna continue that reign of dominance?
I don't know. I mean, this game he got to bring out Great Tusk and click 5 times in a row of what's in front of him. Against Nick, he's not going to be able to do that. I don't think. This is going to be a good game. I think.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a closer
yeah.
one. I think Enamorus is going to be huge in this matchup. If Pez finds a way to deal with Enamorus, I think he can win this game. And if he doesn't, well, Enamorus is probably going to be on the thumbnail next week.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a fun one. And then last we have Zander versus Jeff. Assuming Jeff doesn't let himself get Shell Smash sweeped. I mean, he's got the best team in the league. I think he wins.
Oh, I think that's definitely for sure. But you can never count out the comeback kid.
Yeah, after what just transpired earlier, I guess that's fair.
All right, and then just to finish out this video, I've got our power rankings from the preseason. Any major changes?
Yeah, I think Zamazenta definitely boosts Grafted Grafaiais top end even higher into the fucking moon. That team is very scary now. I definitely would consider moving that up. My team gets Golden Go, which I think makes my hazard threat a lot stronger, but I don't know if that warrants me breaking into the top 5.
Well, not with a loss.
No, I'm looking flatly on the teams here. And then let's see. I think Team Zander might move above the Treat 30s with that Torterra Shell Smash, pull it out of your ass. He's got the clutch factor. You got to give it to him. He stayed cool. He stayed calm. He got his back. He played to his outs, and that was critting Cincino on the Terra. And then I will see where the X we're not beating anybody falls. I'll have to take a closer look at it. But Latios is a pretty scary Pokemon, and the team's definitely better. So I think I definitely could see that moving up at least 1 space. I don't know if it's quite as good as Velvet Room's team, but I think that also it's consideration to move up towards the 8th spot.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I'm gonna say if I'm gonna redo my rankings based on some trades that have happened and based on performances from week 1, my ranking would probably go January Sixers, then Pez Dispensers, then my team, then Grafaiais, then I'd probably have Team Zander, because I'm not going to put a team with a better record lower. Then I'd probably have Cookie's team 6, your team moving down to 7. I think we're not beating anybody, name pending. Might slot into 8th here, or maybe Velvet Room. And then I would probably keep Treek 30 bottom 3, Declawed still bottom 2, and then Virbank Construction down at the bottom. I mean, maybe there's an argument to be said that Virbank Construction could move above Declawed because they managed to get a kill, but I think that's also a little more dependent on whether or not Declawed decides to bring their best Pokemon or not.
Also, whether or not Pest Dispensers of Death decide to switch out their like -4 Tusk in front of a Pokemon who's about to kill it with Mach Punch and preserve the 6-0, but
I mean, that's true, but I mean, that's still definitely a good play to just sack it there because you don't want to potentially sack your Pult to a crazy knockoff prediction.
I think Gouging Fire was a fine mid-ground.
Maybe. Earthquake could do a lot, though.
I mean, if you're physically bulky and you're running Bulwark, I think you're okay.
Right.
And there's no, if you are in the Virbank complex construction and you say, I need to make the knockoff read right now into Pult on this double, instead of saying, if I don't click Mach Punch, I will lose the game to any attacking move he goes for, is a little crazy. I don't know if I've got the balls for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. The rankings will shake themselves out now. They're still preliminary. I know I've got my personal one. I'd probably have Dark Flowers at 7. I think they're probably going to finish higher than that. But yeah, it's just a matter of like tough schedule at the beginning.
Yeah, tough schedule and some tough play, we'll say. maybe I was drinking before. I wasn't.
Maybe. So my next video will likely be my game against this guy right here. Probably gonna whoop his ass. But if I don't, I'll still be on to show you. And yeah, I think it's going well.
I'm excited to see where the rest of this league takes us, even though we've got a long regular season ahead of us as we're doing round robin against all the other teams. But hopefully people stick with it. It's unfortunate that we lost a player before they even had to play a game, but at least it's early enough on in the season that someone can come in and not like have to pick up a record or anything like that. They just have to rebuild the team. So it's unfortunate they didn't get to draft, but I think all things considered, they've got a decent spot for themselves, and we'll see where they work themselves into it.
Yep, and good luck in your next games, except for the very next game. And we'll see you guys back sometime next week.
Bye-bye. Let's go get some fucking Panda Express.